Hey, what's going on? I'm Nicholas, and I just wanted to make a little blog of the pedal tones I've been using lately. I've had a couple questions about a couple new things on my board and a couple new things that I'm doing musically to get some different sounds. So I'm working on a new song called "Bring Your Praise," and using some of these to get some different tones. I've got a couple new pedals recently. The M-Audio Black Box, which is basically a guitar modeler from M-Audio, similar to a pod, but has some really great filter patterns and stuff. This guy, which I think it's called Ed's Texas Toast. I really don't know, but a guy made it for me that's in Colorado named Eric Todd, and he's got really great tones, so I trust his tone. It's basically an Ibanez 808 circuit as well as a Kuzak circuit mixed in one, and then there's another setting that's another hot switch basically, and then this guy, which is I'm just calling it the noise box because it basically just makes some crazy stuff. I'm using the Kuzak setting with the drive pretty hot and the tone about 2 o'clock. And that's pretty much the riff that's throughout the song. It kind of is reoccurring, and that's pretty much the tone that I'm using. I'm using some of the guitar amp models on the black box for like the rhythm sounds, but live they don't go through the amp that well. So you either run direct from the black box separately, or really just use it for studio stuff. I don't use the gain that much unless I'm just doing something small that doesn't really matter. But yeah, and so mostly this is the tone that's going to be throughout that song. It's got a great 808 setting. That it's honestly the exact same circuit supposedly as the 808s, but then it has a lot of added bass response. So you do. It's got some pretty decent tone there, and then the Kuzak setting is basically just a hot screamer pedal. Yeah. So those are mostly the tones that I'm using for that song, and that's pretty much it right there. The Kuzak goes really nicely with the Ibanez Tube Screamer, and this has been modded with the JRC chip in it. It's not the full 808 mod, but it definitely sounds better than stock. In the verses, I use the black box that it has a nice frequency pattern setting, and it has actually quite a few. But the one that I use is set up pretty basic. It's got a nice clean pattern, as you can see. It just gets almost kind of like a sequenced sound. And so to give a little gain, it goes kind of like this. Yeah, so fun stuff, something simple to lay over, a nice little drum beat, nice bass line. Yeah, it's good to kick in basically for verses and fun stuff like that. Then laying over the one part of the main riff, I'm adding in this crazy guy, and this is basically the noise box, and that is literally what it does. It's kind of a mix between a fuzz pedal, a guitar synth, and an octave generator, and it's somewhere in between. It's not really any of those specifically, but it's hard to explain. It basically just makes some seriously wicked sounds. So something like there's some, you can go for kind of a lower octave, you know, bassy kind of thing. A bass running through it sounds really sweet. Make it flip out, do some really crazy, almost video game-like sounds. It's got a gate in it that automatically cuts off at a certain point. So unlike a lot of pedals where they just keep making noise as long as they're on, this one will cut off eventually. So if you're just going nuts on something, you're just... It will turn off, and which is nice because it will... it can cut out and make it kind of a cool, just stopping, almost dying, coming to a complete halt effect. You know, not too bad. You can change the voice on it, so it's got, you know, some funky different stuff depending on, really just depending on what you're looking that particular one. This is kind of a setting that I've been digging. Just ridiculous, basically. So that's coming in for certain parts of the solo. The little riff there that's basically anyway, so basically a real nice kind of synthy sound. Ridiculous, I know. Yeah, so that's some of the crazy stuff. The black box has a ton of stuff that you can do. Lots of fun. You know, yeah, the black box is great because you can plug it in USB to your Mac, and if you're running loops, you know, sync it with the tempo, and so that's great. Been using that a little bit, and then yeah. So nothing really else new. Delays, just running analog delay on the memory man, which is great, and then digital delay, the DD5, which is just pretty, you know, standard. So nothing crazy new. I have been trying to mess around with modding a little bit. I true bypass my wah, and I mess around a little bit with my phase 90. I don't have it here right now, but you know, a couple different things trying to do and get some different sounds. And this may be the last time you see the board looking like this, because I'm actually going to be trying to slim it up a little bit, get a smaller board, and cut down to like just my drives, my delays, and this guy. You know, obviously keep the volume, keep the wah. But anyway, so that's kind of my sounds right now. Bring Your Praise. I'm recording it, you know, like this week, not last week, this week, and then probably the next, and hopefully should have it on iTunes in a couple months. So. Should be sweet. Hopefully not that long, but you know, sometime. So anyway, yeah, that's my tone. Hopefully see you around sometime. Have a good one. Bye.